Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, most people are very concerned about preparing their home for sale. Many want to know the steps to take to make the most money on that sale. So, what are some key things that home sellers need to do to get their home ready for sale, especially as there are fewer buyers in the market right now?
Well, Richard, it's interesting because there are an awful lot of people that get nervous even when I come over. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for you to come over." And I'm like, "Don't worry, we're not taking pictures when I come over." But we can look past anything because we've seen so much. But we're going to help you get there if your target strategy is to go with a live in the home type buyer. So that's really tip number one, is to pick a strategy. Like, are you going to sell the home as is? Are you going to sell the home empty? Are you going to sell the home to a cash buyer that really doesn't care about what the home looks like? Or are you going to try to get full market value? All these different things have a different approach to the way we put the house on the market. But at the end of the day, if you do go on the market, your first showing absolutely is online. So if we don't get the pictures right, we'll miss, and the right buyer may not want to see that home because it wasn't presented properly. That's why it's so important that you pick the right person when you select a real estate agent. I was looking at a study that was actually just done by Zillow they interviewed about 6,000 consumers. And they said that most home sellers really, probably only talk to one person. They might go with a referral. Fewer and fewer of them are actually interviewing two or three just to get a feel. So a lot of people don't know what criteria to use to pick an agent. You might want to work with them because you like them, because they're nice. But at the end of the day, are they going to handle your largest asset the proper way? And a lot of people just don't know. There's the thing that I find striking and very odd when I started in real estate. I came from a military background, and for one glorious year, I got to be a regional airline pilot. And everything you did in those jobs had checklists and procedures and the way you did things and what you said. And so it was kind of shocking for me when I got my license and I go to my new office and I go to the meetings, and I'm kind of expecting to be taught how to, what to do. And there was none of that. In fact, the other competing agents in my office didn't really want to share because I was effectively their future competitor. And it just, I don't know. And that's kind of, it hasn't changed over the years. I think this year I'm going into 30 years of doing this business, and nothing has changed. A lot of brokerages aren't really good at training and teaching systems and the how-to and what works and what doesn't work. So it's really important for a home seller, when they do pick an agent, to have a predetermined idea on what they are looking for and why they're looking for it. And, it says that Zillow's study ended up saying that about a third of the home sellers found somebody online, and another 28% just went by referral. So there is no criteria. So that's one of the things that we offer. We provide what's called a free selection guide on our website. You can go to barbhasthebuyers.com and go to the free report section and click on to download the free agent selection guide. And that will give you questions to ask when it's time to sit down and talk with an agent about handling one of your largest assets. You're going to work together for months. So typically the whole process could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months on average. So you want to be comfortable. But you start with a selling strategy. And are you going to sell your home for cash? Are you going to try to get top market value? It's interesting, Richard, I recently started sending emails to the people that register on my website. I hadn't really done that before. And my system shows me how many people open those emails. And the biggest surprise to me was that the one email that got 100% open rate was how to get full market value for your home with a cash offer. That one gets looked at every single time. So we show up at every listing with at least 6, sometimes 8 offers on any home. We can do this with any home in the country. I'm only licensed in Colorado, but basically we can show up and we can give the seller options to either go the cash offer. That way they don't have to do with the whole get their house ready for sale and, have the buyers come through and deal with all the uncertainty of contract inspection, appraisal and closing. They don't have to worry about any of that with a cash offer. And I actually helped somebody do that recently, and they had very good reasons for not selecting to do a traditional sale. Their home was a nice home, good bones, as I would say. The carpet was a little rough. The paint was school bus yellow, kind of. And they had one of their animals, a cat, was kind of in assisted living in their house. So there were a lot of accidents there. So they had that problem. Plus they had 2 big, strong dogs for these people that were older, it's kind of difficult for them to handle these dogs and deal with showings and stuff like that. So they decided to sell their home to one of the cash investors, and it worked out great. They basically got, the price that they wanted. They were able to move on the date that they expected. They were able to pay cash for their next home in their destination, and it worked out really well. And they didn't have to deal with inspection or people judging their home about it not being in perfect shape. And I think that's a good thing. Now, if you choose a live in the home type buyer, that's completely different. That would be you want to maximize your full market value and introduce the home to the market. So we have a whole system set up on how we approach that and how we give our clients a checklist on what we're going to do step by step by step in order to help them get the house ready for photo day, help them deal with showings, give them feedback of the showings. And once it goes under contract, that's a whole nother process of how to make it go smooth and on time. So just some little tips that we could start with. One of them is make sure if you're going to go to the open market that everything is clean and picked up. Things like flooring, carpet, kitchen appliances. You'd be surprised at the little things that kind of bother me when I look at pictures online. Like, I don't like a dish towel hanging from the stove in a photo. It's fine in person, it doesn't matter. Or the throw rugs that are in the kitchen and the bathroom just because it might be cold. A lot of people leave those down for photo days, but especially if they're bright colors, they jump off the page and you kind of don't focus on the room. You focus on the rugs or the dish towels or all the stuff on the counter. So it's really important to get that stuff done. Door hardware is a really nice thing that you can do if it all matches. It's very inexpensive to do that. Take everything off the counters except for the coffee pot in the kitchen. Same thing in the bathrooms. Personal items from the shower, that kind of stuff. Remove the magnets from the refrigerator. I see that all the time. And it's okay to have family photos. It's just that some people have like a whole entire wall of their life story. And that's very distracting for a buyer. Plus, it doesn't photograph very well. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how you sell a home in a tough market. And next up, we're going to talk about the top tips to get your house ready for sale. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to get a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, we do that for people every single week. Plus, if you're not ready now and you just want to download the 10 questions you should ask before you hire an agent, go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Click on that free report and we'll send it right over. These are questions that agents don't want you to ask. So you really definitely want to get that. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, you can listen to replays of the show anytime on all of the major podcast platforms, plus Barb's YouTube channel, Barb Schlinker. And if you're thinking of making a move, simply call Barb at 719-301-3900. Now, Barb, we're talking about how to sell your home in a tough market. What are the rest of your tips?
Well, one of them is definitely when it's ready for photo day, let the light in. Open the blinds and the curtains. Try to minimize heavy, dark colored blinds. They don't look good in photographs. Turn all the lights on for showing. Lighten up the bedding. It's no longer in style to have the heavy, dark, kind of Baroque looking bedding. Make sure you take care of clutter, especially furniture. Now, you don't have to worry about garages. You typically don't have to worry about the inside of closets. And consider staging your home. Staging, according to the National Association of Realtors, will make home sellers anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 more if it's done right. Now, some people don't need staging, right? But either way, a lot of people really don't know how to approach preparing their home. So we include that as part of our services. We have an actual interior designer come in and consult with them and help them get ready for photo days. So I think that's very important to do. Another thing that's absolutely critical is pricing. Now, a lot of people have their own ideas of what their home will sell for, but the truth is it's the market. So the market's going to speak back to you. If you're on the market and it's not selling and you're not getting showings and you're not getting offers, you're probably way off. It's a good time to make a change if your marketing is right. Most sellers want the most money, but they don't want their house to sit on the market day after day, waiting for buyers, people coming through. And it's a little bit different now because the agents now have to have a signed agreement before they show a property. I'm hoping they actually take the time to find out what the buyers are looking for, but sometimes they don't. And we'll see feedback on showings like, well, I wanted a 2-story and it was a ranch. It's like, really? Didn't you ask them what they wanted? So it can be frustrating and nonsensical as far as what some of the other agents are doing. But we can guide you through that and try to manage expectations. So when these kind of things that don't make sense happen, you'll understand why it's going on. The truth is, to be a real estate agent in the state of Colorado, it's just 1 month of school and there's very little training, no standardization. So a lot of crazy stuff happens. Makes my week very interesting. And if you want a quick sale, of course, we have 70 high net worth cash buyers they have a certain criteria of what they're looking for. So we put every one of our listings in our cash offer platform and we show up with not one, not two, not three, typically a half dozen cash offers, and you get to choose what's the best one for you. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com.
You're listening to Barb Schlinker on Your Real Estate Voice. If you're thinking of making a move, selling your home, and you want to get the most amount of money, of course, then call Barb to sell that home, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we're going to be talking about why do people do off-market sales here in Colorado. Stay tuned for that.